I knew I wanted to be in the Air Force my whole life. Hearing the roar of jets, that's all I wanted to do.
Matthew Slaydon joined the Air Force in 1989 and worked as an aircraft armament systems technician servicing the ordnance needs of the fighter craft. It was early in his career when he met Annette.
I remember meeting him online, and we decided to meet each other, and I called my friend and I'm like, okay, here's this guy's phone number and his picture. I'm gonna go have a date with him. If you never hear from me again, here, give this to the police. And then I remember he took me out to the base and showed me all the planes and the jets, and he had such a passion, you know, for the Air Force, for being a part of something that's a little bigger than him. And I had never experienced that before.
Matthew continued to challenge himself, and in 2002 he set his sights on explosive ordnance disposal, or EOD.
This is the coolest thing I've ever heard of. Bomb suits and robots and 50 caliber sniper rifles. You get to blow stuff up, take apart the bombs when they're alive. That sounds like the bee's knees. And so yeah, so I cross-trained into EOD right after 9/11.
It was over a year before Matthew completed the rigorous EOD training and was ready to deploy. He and his team went to Iraq, where EOD assistance was in constant demand.
You know, the radio, we got a IED, and boom, jump up, throw our gear on, run over to the truck, go out, knock the mission out, and come on back.
In the summer of 2007, Matthew was a month into his third deployment to Iraq when he and his team were called to investigate enemy activity, and it was Matthew's job to search for hidden explosives.
We were always having problems with this village, and there was a sign on the road that said, "Go home, Americans, you die here." Like, you know, crude sign hammered in the dirt. And I was like, okay, well, this looks bad. I sent the robot down, you know, did some investigating, drove this big 600-pound robot all over the place, dropped some explosive charges on some suspicious spots, blew holes in the ground, didn't find anything. So I reached the point where it was time to do my dismount, and standard procedure, done it a million times. Hop out of the truck and do a quick walk. Eyes on the ground, you know, poke, poke, poke with a mine probe to see if there's anything buried. And I got down on my knees in the proper mine probing position to protect my femoral arteries, put my right hand away, and leaned in and slid my mine probe into the ground, and boom, it went. You know, it mangled my arm, took a piece of rebar right here and it broke my jaw, cut my chin strap, stripped all my headgear off, and the wave just obliterated my eyes. Crushed my face, and I was unconscious for a month before I started to wake back up, and started to figure out what had happened to me.
Matthew lost his left arm, which had been his dominant arm, and sustained other severe injuries, including complete loss of sight.
I'll tell you, when they told me that, it sunk in that I was going to be blind. I was pretty mad. They just let me die.
It's a test of endurance that I did not know I was capable of.
Yeah, but bless his heart, man. He never missed his rehab. Never missed his rehab. But every morning, if I got up and I was feeling badly, I'm like, Matt's getting up every morning. Matt's pushing through this. You know, you need to be there.
Annette's support proved vital for Matthew. And in his recovery, she recognized a calling. As Matthew's active duty career came to a close, Annette was hired by the Air Force as a recovery care coordinator.
I turned in my ID, my active duty ID card, and got my reserve one, and I got out of the chair, and Annette sat in the same chair and got her contractor card to go to work on base, the same appointment.
I first met Matthew and Annette at a movie premiere for a very powerful documentary film I executive produced, Brothers at War. After hearing about the specially adapted custom smart homes built by the Gary Sinise Foundation's R.I.S.E program, Annette suggested Matthew apply.
And we were on our way to the dentist and the phone rang, and it was Gary. He said, congratulations.
With the support of independent community donations and our national in-kind sponsors and partners, the Gary Sinise Foundation began construction on the Slaydon specially adapted custom smart home. In May of 2020, the home was completed.
Come on in the house.
Hi, Gary. He's right here on the phone, right in front of you. Hi, how are you?
I'm flabbergasted. Just this moment of surreal happiness.
This is such a unique home. It's the layout, I think, is one of the best things. So there'll be no tripping, no falling. Front door, I think, and when you come in, it's even. The showers are even.
My shower's my oasis. It's one of the few places I can get relief from my physical pain.
They really tried to set up the kitchen for him in a way that would make it easy for his flow and how he cooks.
I used to cook like a fiend. I love to cook. And now they've built me this incredible, smart, safe, perfectly well laid out kitchen. With the blindness, I live in yellow alert. I'm never really shut down. So now I feel like maybe I can turn off for a while. I've got about 12 years worth of sleep to catch up on.
Into the next chapter, we're ready. And we have the perfect spot to do it in.
Matthew and Annette are looking forward to the peace and serenity that their new home will provide. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation by honoring our defenders, first responders, their families, and those in need. To learn more about the Gary Sinise Foundation and how you can support other veterans like Matthew Slaydon, visit GarySiniseFoundation.org.